Alright, in this video we're going to do 46 through 50. And on question 46, we're being asked to rewrite this with a rational exponent. So, boy, this one really gets some of you because you fail to wrap the number underneath the radical in parentheses. Alright, so the number in the crook of the symbol goes in the downstairs of the fraction. Goes in the basement, the dungeon, and the number on the outside goes here. Now make this look like an exponent. Don't make it look like a fraction that's just big, you know. Elevate it and make it small. If you fail to use these parentheses, what you're communicating is that only the x was underneath the radical sign. That is why you need to use those parentheses. Number 47, we're putting this in reverse. We are rewriting this with the radical. So because there's only an n, if there was more characters involved, you'd have to wrap it up in parentheses. The 4 goes in the crook because it's in the basement, and you can either put the 5 here, which is okay, or you can write it on the outside using parentheses. 48. 48 is the same type of question. We're just being asked to rewrite this using radical signs. So again, this goes in the crook, and I can put the 4 right here. I'm going to show you an alternate way. You can wrap it up and put it like that. Doesn't look like a 4, but it is. Alright, 49, we're asked to solve. Now remember, with radical expressions, you need to check for imposters or extraneous roots. When you have radical, remember the IRS method, you cannot isolate them when you have two, but you need to put them on opposite sides, which they are already there. So folks, to lift that radical off, we square it, and what we do to one side, we do the other. We square it this time because it's the same number in the index. If that were 3, you'd cube it, and so forth. What that does is it lifts off the radical, and you just have a simple linear equation, which now you can solve by isolating the variable. So I'll start by adding 2v to both sides, subtracting off the 30, and that gives me 5v on the left and negative 40 on the right. Divide by 5. V is equal to negative 8. Let's check it. Does 3 times negative 8 plus 30, 3 times negative 8 would be negative 24. Negative 24 plus 30 is the square root of 6. Okay, we better get the square root of 6 over here, or this is not a true answer. So when I substitute in a negative 8 here, I get a positive 16 because I have that double negative going on. Positive 16 minus 10. Alrighty, this one proved to be a true answer. Whoops, that should be 6. This one's slightly different because we don't have two radicals. So we are going to use this IRS acronym: isolate, remove the radical, solve. So we've got to take this over to the other side. That's what the isolate means. It means get the radical all by itself. So I'm going to undo multiplication by divide, and that gives me the square root of 4a is equal to 2. Remove the radical. Again, you raise it to whatever index power that is. That removes the radical, and that gives me 4a is equal to 4. Divide both sides by 4, you get a is equal to 1. But again, it is important that you check to make sure that this is not extraneous. When I plug in the 1 in here, I get a 4. The square root of 4 is 2, and 6 times 2 is 12. It did check. That concludes this video. I think there's just one more. Yay! See you then.